Brokers Alliance and the National Insurance Clearinghouse present the Business Insurance Zone, a Bravo video event. Broadcasting in HD 1080p on Vimeo, YouTube, the Insurance Newsnet, Agent Navigator, BrokersAlliance.com, and on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and the Insurance Forum. And now your host, the whiz of the biz, Steve Savant. Well, welcome everyone to the Business Insurance Zone, the talk show that spotlights insurance in your practice, keeps you up to speed on insurance news and products, features insurance strategies from top advisors. Get in the zone, the Business Insurance Zone.
Well, welcome everyone. My email address is thebiz@brokersalliance.com, and you can call us at 1-800-290-7226, extension 147, for any of your DI quotes, LTC, annuities, life, and group pension cases. And I just want to remind everyone that I'm not a legal or tax advisor, so if you have any questions about anything we're doing, any strategies you want to implement on our show, not a problem, but go check it out with your CPA and your attorney first. And if you're with a broker-dealer, don't forget, always check in with your compliance officer. Well, today we're doing a special, and I'm talking about very special, really off my beating path that I normally do. No, it's not about product today. It's not about marketing strategies, although maybe it is. So with that marketing idea and kind of a segue, I want to introduce today from Chicago, Illinois, in visiting us out here in the Valley of the Sun, I want to introduce Dr. Barb Provost. Dr. Barb, welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me.
Now, why do we have Dr. Barb with us? Is she some high-end producer? Is she somebody from home office? No, Dr. Barb has her own consulting called Provost Consulting out of Chicago. And her area of expertise is really how adults learn.
Yes, it is.
And so we're going to be talking about how adults learn and a lot of issues, and I'm going to have her in for about 4 or 5 interviews just to make sure that we package everything correctly. But today and several interviews, we're going to talk to Dr. Barb about the newest emerging market that's out there, and actually, it shouldn't be new.
No.
What did we, so what is it? Well, yes, it's true. The Hispanic market is huge. It's the largest minority in the United States. But we've ignored the largest majority in the United States marketing, and that's marketing to women.
Women, right.
Dr. Barb, why should I care about women and money?
Well, because women have a lot of money. And also because women are a huge market that's being overlooked oftentimes. What I see is that a lot of times marketers are marketing to women the same way they would market to men. So I think they're missing a lot of times.
Well, here's my first salvo in today's show. And if this isn't a shock and awe statement, I don't know what is. We now have a pattern that 87% of women dump their financial advisors once their husbands are dead.
Yes.
That is a staggering shock and awe number to me.
And why do you think they do that?
Well, that's why I have you on the show. Why do they do that?
Because they've never been paid attention to by that particular advisor. They probably don't have the information they need. They're probably not clear on the information that they do need. And so they want to go out and search for somebody that's going to listen to them.
It's kind of strange when you think about it. But right now, the vast majority of wealth is in the hands of widows. Their World War II and Korean husbands are all passing now or have passed. And who is helping mother at the long-term care facility or at home with all their finances? Almost the vast majority, if she has children, the vast majority are daughters helping their mothers out.
Right, right.
And if we don't learn how to talk to women who have now control of the next transfer of wealth, we are going to get fired. I'm going to feel like I'm on the Donald Trump show. Yeah. You're fired, right? And because we already know 87% of all financial advisors are terminated at the time that dad dies.
Yeah, and not only that, there's so many more women in the workplace now, so they're earning their own income. There's so many women, the divorce rate is at 50%, so many women are on their own, doing their own finances, and they live longer than men. And they're getting more wealth than men. So they are really a great target market that are being overlooked.
It's interesting to me because when you think about this, you are the first generation of women that have worked from the time they graduated from college all the way now into their, we have baby boomer women that are now heading to retirement and have been in the workplace the entire time. And we used to use issues like single income, raising kids, single income, no kids, CIRCs or sinks in my little language. But now we have to start to really focus on dual income,
Right.
raising kids, dual income, no kids, dinks and dirks now, and that dual income has been ruling the day. Now, this is just an interesting thing, and by the way, this will actually make people more money. I hate to bring that up,
Yeah.
But why do we keep putting on spousal riders on the male side of the policy when the female is working just as much as the male? Why does she not get her own policy? Why is he just an adjunct to his contract?
Why?
Well, that's because we're so conditioned, especially my group, the ARP Nation, I must say, we're so conditioned for single income men having the income and women staying at home.
Right.
It's just, we're so conditioned, we just say, oh, and we do want to have something on mother, yes, of course, but it's a rider adjunct, but no more. We've moved away from that. We're trying to pull away from spousal riders. We're trying to say, especially like in our state, and not all states are like this, so check with your attorney, but our state's a community property state. We like to put individual contracts on each mom and dad, husband and wife, male and female, want to put individual contracts on and have them cross-owned. So we think that is a huge way to go. And again, check with your attorney on what's good for your state and your specific situation. But we're encouraging a lot of our advisors to go down this road because, Dr. Barb, I mean, after all, right?
Right.
There, and by the way, about 22% of all females now are outperforming their male counterparts in income.
Well, and women these days, you'll find that there are more women getting their masters, more women returning to school to enhance their skill sets, more women in those areas that were once more major focus towards men, like manufacturing, things like that, medicine. So women are really increasing in lots of different areas in the workforce.
When I think of target marketing women, and I've been married to my wife for quite a long time, 36 years. And I'm still figuring out how to talk to her 36 years later. I have the shakes now just thinking about this thought. We don't know how to approach women. We don't know how to talk to them. We don't know how to express financial concepts.
Right?
And it's not that we have to dumb it down, do we?
No, you
So,
don't.
so talk to me a little bit. And but the reason why we're talking to Dr. Barb is because her main thesis was in adult learning.
Right.
But today we're actually upping her game a bit. We're making her kind of come our way in a little bit more. Not only in how do adults learn, but how do adults learn? How do women adults learn? How do they hear things? How should male adult advisors speak to them? And I'm only trying to tell you this if you want a job.
Right.
If you don't want a job, you don't have to watch the show today.
Right. And I have a lot of experience building education for training in the financial areas. As that's how I met you, Steve.
Right. In fact, that we met in a consulting agreement.
Right, right. And so when I see a lot of education around sales, and when it's in the financial market, a lot of men are coming through and they're learning the typical sales process. You know, it's the 5-step process that they have to go through. And I've seen a lot of men learn this process, go out, use this process, women as well, because they've been trained in the same way. And I often thought, that process will never work with women. And a lot of it is because women don't purchase or buy things in a process-oriented fashion. There's a lot more going on when women are purchasing, especially large ticket items.
Well, I'm thinking about the story that you told me at one of our breakfast meetings about a gentleman who made a $25,000 decision on expanding his basement without consulting his wife, and she seemed to be okay with it.
I know.
What was going on there?
Well, it shows me that they don't have those conversations that they need to have around the money, the financials, what's happening in the household. And maybe she's never always been engaged in those conversations. Maybe the conversations on the mortgage and the insurance and the health care has only been the decision of the male in the household. However, these days, women are really finding their voice and having more of an impact on those decisions.
And here's the bigger part. They have no choice to find their voice. When father dies, when the male dies, now we're up against, where is the financial material? Where is it organized? Where is it in a lockbox? Is it in a safety?
Right.
Do we know what these policies mean? Who owns them?
Right.
How do I have access? I need income.
Right.
And none of that is, I think about this all the time. We make purchases, as advisors, we recommend financial products, for solutions, but I never see the plan, the strategy, the tactic. Why did we do it?
Right.
And so if I don't have that and the male is gone,
Right.
what is mother to do?
Right.
I mean, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a terrible situation to be found in a situation like that. What do? They really need to be engaged. They need to be part of the process. But so often in sales of finances, women are often overlooked, dismissed, or not spoken to.
Do you think that we're changing, or do you think we're still waking up to this issue?
There are some companies who have done, cracked the nut a little bit on how to do this, but I think there's a lot more work to do.
Mm-hmm. Do you think they're accommodating it for the financial gain and opportunity, or do you think they see a genuine value in bringing this to the table on a whole nother, almost, if I can say, feminine financial mystique?
I don't think we're there yet.
We're not there. So we would be, our broadcast today and some of the other shows you're going to be on will actually be, we're going to be ahead of the curve on some of these issues.
Yes.
And we're trying to bring this to you now because we see the stats. They're undeniable.
Yes.
The data's there. Women are going to rule the transfer of power over the next decade.
Right.
You need to learn how to talk to octarian women. You need to talk to their baby boomer daughters.
Yes.
We need to go down this road.
Right.
And then remember, for all of us who are still working, most of the mortgages in America are predicated on two incomes. I mean, it isn't like we're still living in single income land.
Right.
Those days have changed. We've went through a cultural revolution on this. And to me, I want to be able to bring ahead of the curve, and I want to put this centerpiece in the middle. We were thinking about all along trying to do maybe a show on the new emerging minority markets, and I am going to do that. But I thought I can't do that first until I haven't even touched the majority issue.
Right.
So when I think about this, Dr. Barb, I'm thinking about, give me a base concept. You know, when we come back from the break, I want to hear kind of a basic idea of, you know, like your skirt story. We'll probably have to go.
Yeah, let's do that. That'll be fun.
Because I think that's kind of the way to go. Well, listen, you're listening to the Business Insurance Zone. You can track us down at 1-800-290-7226. And when we come back, we're going to ask her about the skirt story.
Steve Savant here. For years, I've heard that less than 2% of all term life insurance ends in a claim. That's not many, and clients had to die to receive the benefits. That's the old term insurance. Now start selling the new insurance. The term insurance that covers your client through a chronic illness, a catastrophic event, or a terminal diagnosis, and pays their monthly premium during extended periods of unemployment. What term life insurance can do all that? Western Reserve Alliance Advantage Term with living benefits. No other term insurance product bundles so many solutions to life's unexpected problems. And all in one policy. So for more information, call Brokers Alliance 1-800-290-7226. Stop selling the old term. Start selling the new.